Good evening, everybody. This is Michael Filighera. I am with logicalsignals.com and also traders.com. And this is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 for Monday, July 5th, 2021. I have taken a step back and tried to just put into numbers and also Fibonacci extensions what I think the market is actually doing. And that is after taking a step back and allowing the market to tell us. So I've made some adjustments to our count, and not to the direction is still it's in an advance, but just as to the breakdown within these advancing waves. So I'm going to just back out to the 4 hour so that I can begin to show that really what I'm starting to move up is the divisions within these minute waves. And so this is a sub-minute wave, or a sub-sub. These are sub-minute, and this is a sub-sub. So they're breaking down even within the small breakdowns as this thing is fairly aggressively pushing higher. And that's just the S&P. So, and then from those levels, when I can complete it, I can begin to then put on additional Fibonacci extensions to see if I can't build a zone to where I think each of these degrees are going to complete. So as we continue to move higher, I'm going to go one more time out so that I can begin to show that we have this. I'm going to go one more. Start back out here at the weekly. And what we've got going on is we have still a minor 5-wave degree advance. That is going to complete an intermediate 5th wave. That's as high I'm going to go right now. And then on top of that, it does complete an intermediate 5th, which completes a primary 3rd. Now we're going to start to break down. So prior to this, I had had minor wave 3 completing here. And then that just didn't seem to really fit to what was going on inside all of this. So I backed that out and found that even on the weekly chart, it just counted better as minute 1 of minor, minute 2 of minor 3, and then the minute 3 subdivides, subminute 1, subminute 2, subminute 3, 4, and 5. And then that just completed subminute wave 3, minute wave 3, minute wave 4. Then we start to subdivide again. So, but what I can now do is I then run a Fibonacci from the start of wave 3 to the completion to wave 4, so that now I can start to build where do I think this subminute 5th wave is going to end. And what I start coming down to the daily is it has in its own. So this is subminute 1, subminute 2, subminute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, subminute 3, subminute 4, and then it breaks again. Subminute 1, subminute 2. And then that 3rd wave breaks yet again. Now we're only to the daily. So now I'm going to go down to the 4-hour chart. And here we are, 1 and 2. And now we can see, look at the depth of the ascent, the steepness of the climb has really just made me push this, even the subs of 3. So we're looking to complete a sub-minute wave 3. And within it, we're completing a sub-sub 5-wave advance. So within that, we've done 3 and 4. So now I can add an additional layer. Remember, I got this one, which gives me numbers above. Now I've added an additional one to where I think this sub-minute 3 to finish sub-minute 3, which will then set us up to a subminute 4, and then a subminute 5th, and then we start completing all the levels higher. So I've allowed additional upside. And here's what that starts to spell out. So this is how I believe we're going to, again, continue to stair step, but I just had to, instead of getting to the top of the stairs, they just extended them. So here's what I have now. On this triple sub wave 5 to complete this internal of a sub wave 3. Could first meet resistance right here, 43.57.25 to 58, but it actually runs all the way up to 43.75 to 80. I mean, with a real push, this thing could get up to here, because these are these corresponding. And this corresponds to this outside. Or this particular third will be the same size as 1 at this level. I think it can go higher as a third, which means that this fifth is going to maybe drive up into here and maybe possibly force this third to complete here. So you see, we have a lot of rally still left, and just by adjusting the count to reflect what the market is actually doing. So I'm not really making it up as I go along. It's reflecting what the market is doing, and I'm continuing to follow Elliott rules and the guidelines so that we're being correct in what the market is doing and what its potential now carries. Because again, remember, we're in uncharted waters. We have no chart points where you can go. They have to be created. Then we can put the next set. So as I continue to do this, as I always continue to tell you as well, that we have to allow the market to tell us. I cannot tell the market. Otherwise, it would have been like, gee, you guys should have talked here and done, moved into a nice, blah, blah, blah. So I could have been all prepared and shorted the all the way down and just made a bundles of money. No, continue to let the market tell you, and then you'll get along with the moves on the way. So I think that for the beginning of the week, which is actually today, but it's going to be tomorrow, but we have begun, we're in Globex. Markets are open. They are continuing to move higher. They're kind of hesitating right here. We're now waiting for Asia to come in and start to open up in the Asian markets, and then we'll see what they want to do. But I think it's going to build on a rally. That pullbacks will continue to be small. We should continuation of the rally. This is an area, but I believe it's going to push above that. If not, then we're completing this triple sub level here, and that would just put the 3 there. We're looking for a fourth wave, which are going to again come back up into here, so not a whole lot. And then we're going to push up in a fifth wave there, which is going to do nothing but complete the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth. So we still have a fourth on the sub level to then complete the minute 5. So we've got some upside still to do. So that completes 3, then we got a 4, and then we got a 5, which completes that 5, minute 5. And that's the one that I think we start to end up actually above 4,400. So instead of 4,300 containing it now, it really looks like it's going to be higher. And we do have numbers that carry us all the way up and through, as you can see, and we start to get overlap. So 4501 is not out of the picture for a fifth wave. We're finishing a third, a 4, and the fifth to finish this larger can take us all the way up here. So I do think we're going to get some rally. I don't think they're backing off. Now, again, I'm going to let the market tell me. So what I mean by that is that if we come in tomorrow and we're sitting up here and US opens and they're like, that's what we're done. Bam, they start hitting the market. News driven, just market weight driven, makes no difference. Allow the market to tell us. If they start to sell off and they start to break back down below points and below moving averages, I mean, so in other words, it's like if it goes up here and it starts to sell off and really outpaces where a normal little small fourth wave should happen, then we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, follow what the market is telling you so that we're continuing to trade what's in front of us. Right now, probabilities do suggest higher, smaller pullbacks and higher, smaller pullback and higher. And once we get up here, then again, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to be looking for a little bit stronger initial slide off of whatever high is made. Right now, we're still not getting those. So as long as this stays shallow, it fits within the rally. It fits within the advance. We're not looking for that much. If it really does start to slide and we're not looking for it, That's okay. Take a step back. Just trade what's in front of you. We will figure it out later, but we got to trade. Instead of saying, well, you shouldn't be going below this point, blah, blah, blah. But you are, and you're breaking levels that should not be broken for the count that I'm looking at. That's my point. Markets can do that, but because we're allowing the market to tell us, when it breaks, it's telling me, oh, you're not going. Now I'm going to plan for what you are going to do. Okay, so we have our upside, we have our downside, and we have the unexpected downside, right? So if it moves outside of what the expectations are, that's still going to be okay. We have support. All of this resistance on the way up becomes support on the way back down. That's why I'm going to leave them there. So again, once that's in place, then I can run an additional to see what the wave 4 should look like. Once that's in place, I can put more extensions on and see where they come in. So you're going to see I continue to build completion zones simply by using Fibonacci extensions and using it against what we have already done, so that I can have some type of a projection of what can I expect. And that I base on the Elliott wave that I'm looking at. What are the characteristics of that wave? What's the personality? And how does that fit in to all these levels? I'm going to leave it. We'll pick it up again tomorrow, Tuesday, July 6th.